All right, welcome everybody. This is episode 9 of The Bottomless Vault, and today we are joined by two guests. My name is Andy Beccaro, and my co-host is Jared Susney.
We're back.
We are.
Some of our listeners had postulated that maybe we had found the bottom of the vault, but we did a little digging after a summer hiatus, and we found that the vault is indeed bottomless.
Right. So, in case you were wondering, we have not left, and we just took a little break. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and some of the things that we can talk about. We're going to talk about with two of our guests here. Let me introduce them: Nick Santini and Joel Dimir. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us. Great honor to be on.
Awesome.
A great honor. What a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have you guys. We do have a ton to cover because it's been a long summer, a lot of events, and you guys have been at a bunch of them. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Great. So why don't we, Jared, the super producer here, has suggested that we start with you, Nick, and tell us a little bit about your story, about your Magic old school story and your journey.
Yeah,
it's taken
happy to do so.
Couple of twists and turns here.
Yeah. So around 2018 is when I became aware of old school and some of the events. At the time, I was primarily playing Legacy and Commander, but I was kind of interested in Vintage, specifically like proxy Vintage. I wasn't looking at buying Power yet. And through that stream, I became aware of old school. And I started seeing, maybe it was a LobsterCon report or what's the big Chicago one?
Maybe Players Ball?
Yeah, the Players Ball. Yeah, I think a lot of people actually found out that old school through.
The Lords have been putting stuff out through their website and other things since 2015 or something like that. So I think a lot of people found that stuff when they kind of got into old school.
Yeah. So I started to kind of shift my collection towards that. I didn't know about the North American reprint policy though. So I was like, oh, no way I'm going to play City of Brass. I thought any core set card had to be alpha or beta, and then everything else had to be like their first copy. I don't know why. That was on me.
Yeah.
But
was that just from watching Swedish content on YouTube
probably.
Or something like that? Because you would certainly think that when you watch those guys play.
And then I think I soon discovered one of the Discords, and someone corrected me. Shortcutted a bit. In 2019, the Old Order Old School crew, shouts out to them, held an event. I was living in Philadelphia, so I drove out to it, playing a mono black mid-range deck, had a blast playing, and from there really started to want to grow into the format. Philadelphia hadn't yet established its club. I looked it up. I asked some of my server members. It was September 2019, we created our server, and then October 2019 was the first meetup. And I was one of the first 3 guys to go to a meetup.
Oh wow! They blew up pretty fast then because they have quite a scene there now.
Yeah, so the first meetup was 3. The second meetup we had 9 guys, and then that's where we had a solid core to 5 to 6. So shouts out to Philadelphia Old School. Always love going back there. So yeah, we started getting a pretty regular cadence going, 2 meetups a month. But 5 months after October 2019 was really the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
And so I had kind of at the time it wasn't like a spike, I guess, but I was playing Dibitog. Wheel lives in PA, man. So I got inspiration from his list. Yeah. But the club overall transitioned really well to the online kind of cam game environment. And I think that's also where Philadelphia Old School and Old Order, we started hopping on the same whereby calls, for these one-day cam events.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool to meet everyone there. And that's where I started playing the Neos leagues and really started learning about Spice and how there was a Spice award on top of who made it to a top cut there.
Sure.
So
Andy's story is pretty similar. So you're
really Andy, what is your story?
Oh, Well, yeah, it's not about me, but yeah, but yeah,
Listen to
I kind of
APC
started.
episode like 5 or whatever, and then
Okay.
Yeah, very similar. So, but sometimes like people get, you start off with like good decks and you try to do it, and then you're kind of playing your games, and then you kind of get tired of that, the same old kind of line dip bolt or ATOG or whatever the deck. And I don't know. For me, some people don't get tired of it, but I got tired of it. So I kind of, much like you, I kind of delved into making kind of more spicy decks and kind of exploring the rest of the cards that aren't frequently used. So much in the same vein.
it is fascinating to me that people don't get tired of playing like spike decks, just doing like micro tweaks. But I've like talked to people like like Partial or Ty Thomason, and like, and they have a point too, like running those decks against each other all the time. It's like you do get complex lines, and sometimes it does. I mean, variance is always a thing, mana flood, mana screw, blah blah blah. But like you do get good magic that way. But like to me, it is about finding different ways to.
Yeah, we kind of make fun of the spikers all the time here, but I definitely see that. If you get two good players on two good decks that are reasonably matched up, I could see the definite appeal to that. And so
What Andy's saying is, you are seen. We just don't care.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you guys kind of groaned when he said, "Oh, Dibbatog." But I think there's something to be said about spicing better having spiked, like how to make. Like if you're spicing and you're always like finishing 50th out of 52 or whatever, I don't know. You're probably not gonna get much joy out of it. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know. But if you know the lines, you know what interactions are important. You know how to play well, and then you can bring that spice and actually like. Maybe go positive record.
Yeah, you want to be able to do your thing, right? You make your deck and you do something that does something and takes the game somewhere. You want to be able to do that. Then otherwise it's like misery and you're just like losing. But
so through the Neos leagues, Nick, because they do all sorts of different stuff where like they're like eradicating cards or like doing different formats. So like through that, you kind of developed an interest in not trying to play the best deck in the format all the time.
Yeah, I skipped over this. I guess in the 5 months that like in-person paper was still around when I started, I had gone to Winter Ball 2, and I won't call it like a checklist, but I was like, it'd be cool to top 8. I brought the deck, and I kid you not, I had played one match before of it, like piloting it, and I ended up like top 8ing. So I was kind of like, oh, cool. I've done the spike thing. I learned some of the like the hard decisions to that point. But after doing that, I was like, oh, cool. Let's go down the spice rabbit hole. And Neo seemed like a great place to do that. Where, to me, spice is all about leaving your opponent with like a memory in a lot of ways. If I could change one aspect of how they view the game or thought about a card after the match, whether I win or lose, I think that's like really awesome. And I think the community is awesome in a lot of ways, but that is definitely one of it, is always being pleasantly surprised around your interactions, right? So
it's also often very fun for your opponent too, like whether they're spiking or spicing. Like if for me to put a Ashnod's Transmigrant on your Darrow lore and then kill you by tapping it down with the Relic Barrier and Artifact Possession after many turns, like we're both gonna remember that.
Yeah,
and that actually happened
in our play. And so I always thought Lich was one of the coolest cards, and this also goes back to like playing Commander. How I view a format typically is like, what's the craziest thing you can do?
Sure.
It doesn't have to mean it's like the best or most consistent, but Lich is one of those cards that fucks. Eureka is another card, thus my Discord name being sure. Eureka Shivan. But so I really wanted to do something cool with Lich. And if you go on Scryfall and type in gain life, there's only like 23 cards that let you do that. And typically for the listeners, it's Dark Heart of the Woods. Sure. But I wanted to see if we can do a mono black list or heavy artifact based list to make casting the Lich easier, right? I think that's always the tension, is how do you shove in enough force for Dark Heart
Yeah,
but also actually
quad
cast
black.
it.
Yeah. Cast it without necessarily having to Eureka it into play.
So I thought, wow, like Urza's Chalice is kind of interesting because you have all the mocks, you have Mana Vault in the format, and then the sack outlet of Ashnod's altar and Tablet of Epicure with Onulet and Suchi to like ramp or draw you more cards. Like I thought it'd be it's like a more of a classic critical mass storm deck, I guess, of Legacy.
Andy, do you have his list up? So
yeah, I have it.
Eventually overlay it. So yeah.
How did you end up doing with this list? I don't remember playing you there, but nice.
But I won 2 games. I think I melted some people's face.
So I mean, Andy will wind up posting the list, but I just do this for the people that don't wind up watching it. I'll run through this as fast as I can because it's cool as hell. So just starting from the top and we'll work our way down. Is there a sideboard here, Nick, or the top cards of the sideboard?
Yeah, it's the top row. Yeah,
okay, got it. So the main deck is 4 Suchi, 1 Ornithopter, 4 Onulet, 4 Ashnod's Altar, 3 Mirror Universe, 4 Mana Vaults, Soul Ring, Black Lotus, 5 Swamp, all 5 Mox, 4 Underground Sea, 4 City of Brass, 3 Mishra's Workshop, 1 Urborg, 3 Lich, 4 Urza's Chalice, 1 Tablet of Epicure, which we could explain later, 1 Aeola Pile, 1 Time Vault, Demonic Tutor, 3 Dark Ritual, Ancestral Time Walk, Time Twister, and Wheel. And his sideboard is this is one of those sideboards that just can't get enough of this kind of thing. One Ivory Cup, 1 Crystal Rod, 1 Throne of Bone, 1 Iron Star, 1 Wooden Sphere, 1 Soul Net, 1 Ivory Tower, a second Aeola Pile, a second Time Vault, 3 Earthquake, and 3 Gloom. So, Nick, you can go ahead and kind of explain what your main deck plan was here. I'm kind of curious as to some of the card selections, so you can go ahead and talk about it.
Before you do, by the way, awesome picture. Tier S picture here. You even got the green light coming from the corner there, like in the actual art.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I got really close with the Old Order guys, and Mike France is kind of known for doing amazing deck photos, and I think I wanted to step up my game, and I thought, you
even got like a little burned mark on your hand there. What is that? Is that like?
Yeah, I think the Lich hand has like a hole in it.
Really?
So I tried like mimicking that.
I didn't even notice that until you're. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
These are definitely S tier deck photos. That's for sure. You love to see this. I mean, lining up the cards nicely is one thing, but to turn it into kind of like a piece of art, like you obviously spent some time on this. Like, do you have like some kind of history in graphic design or like?
Yeah, I've not professionally, but just as a hobby, really enjoyed graphic design. I like doing photography, so this is a good blend of the two. And as I mentioned, like Mike put out his photo where it was his brother surrounded by the circle of cards and he has the candles, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Again, like I think that's one of the best parts of the community is like, not like you like push yourself, you push other people like in a great direction and try to inspire people, right? And I think this deck list, I'm happy we're talking about it because it might be the first time I really kind of got like people started recognizing my Discord handle name a bit when I would go to an event. So was really fun. Even Mengus did the Urza's Chalice art. He like commented on the Neos photo of like,
oh no way,
awesome.
Really? That's awesome.
Yes, so it was really cool. All right, how did the deck play out? I mean, plan A is with Lich, you put out a Mirror Universe and you Time Walk. That is pretty hard because you need 8 mana pretty much to do that in one turn.
And for them to not a disenchant or a counterspell or
Yeah. So the real hope was you were churning through your deck again with all the artifacts netting you mana. Sacrificing Suchi, and then you have the 4 Chalice and Tablet taking you life, either on cast of the artifact and with Tablet when the creature dies. In hindsight, I think I'd play more Tablet of Epicure. This was like real.
Said no one ever.
So Nick, Tablet is like 1 in tap, and you gain a life for whenever an artifact goes to the graveyard. But you could only activate that once per artifact, right?
No, well, that's the key. It's you get multi-use. Yeah.
So you don't have to tap it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can do it infinite times. I thought about greed in this space, but it's hard to get the black mana to work, and then you're losing life as well.
Wait a second. Hold on. No, you can't do it infinite. It's one time per artifact going into the graveyard, right? Or can you do it like if an artifact goes into the graveyard?
Yeah, it's like per instance of it, but like multiple artifacts go. Yeah, so that's where you're.
So I can't do it twice in response to one artifact dying.
Correct, but I checked, and you can get the Ashnod's mana to like use to pay for it, which is nice. So like you sacrifice a creature to Ashnod's.
That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, it's whether or not you're going infinite. I mean, it's still quite an engine.
Right.
Yeah. Like the hope is, you churn through enough. And plan B is you just mirror universe because you're a fast deck and you have the Aelia pile, which is how I won one of my games against, I believe it was a Workshop's opponent, a pretty serious deck. I don't know if you guys have found this in testing. I think whenever my opponent leads Library Go is when my spice decks have the most success. It's really about drawing cards.
Right? Well, yeah, sure. And it's like very, very often, like, it's buying you time. Like that's the time you need to draw the cards you want or set up your plan. So no, Library Go. I'm always like, sweet dude.
Yeah.
Drag this out as long as you want.
I guess it depends. I mean, if you're also a combo that takes a long time to set up, then you're probably losing. But if you're a semi-aggressive or mid-range deck, then you're winning because, like you said, they're just slowing themselves down.
It depends on the opponent. Like if they're on like mono counter spells, right? Then that's probably not great.
But I mean, you're running rituals, you're running mana vaults, you're like trying to power out all this stuff kind of as fast as you can. So
right, and
I'm not surprised to hear that.
With a deck like this, you're going to catch a lot of people with their pants down that have like no fucking idea what you're doing. I know to fast forward, like when you and I played at Stormcrow, like round 3, I remember saying like as soon as you played Fast Bond, I was like, dude, I know what you're doing. Like take your time. I know you need to think about some of this shit. So like I'm cool sitting here watching it happen.
Yeah. You're a great opponent there too. Yeah, like that's the thing with Spice, right? You're kind of taking a lot of game actions with all these combo decks churning through with Lich, especially. Yeah. I used to bring it to like bar meetups, not anymore. It's just too complicated, too much effort. Sure. But yeah, the game I won, I think I went workshop, dropped the mirror, and then I just mana burned myself for 6 back to back, and then Aelia piled them. And that's where the earthquakes were in the board. Was I thought that might be a legit route to pick. I don't know. Like I was kind of throwing stuff against.
Yeah, you can get the score close enough probably with the Cities of Brass that one mirror in the Aelia pile is going to do the trick. I'm kind of surprised you issued Fireball, which would give you a little more range, but the earthquakes kind of make sense in that regard, just to bring the life totals closer. That way you can just kill the game with an Aelia pile.
Yeah. So that's my love with Lich really started here, and I think one of the old Swedish videos I saw was a Lich pilot, and they had Bazaar in their deck too. So it's 2 of my favorite cards. That we'll see how that comes into play later with the Bazaars. But yeah, so I ended up winning Spice Master that Neo season. I got 2 golden ghost peppers, 2 silver out of the 5 events.
Nice.
And again, I was, so I felt pretty accomplished that all my spice decks were kind of different angles as well. So I think this was like pairing the art of the deck photo with like a new idea of how to try to make Lich work. One of mine was they buffed the legendary creatures by making them cost 2 generic less.
I remember that.
And I decided to play a deck that was all of the legendary creatures, a one of, all of the dual lands, so 40 duels, 1 of each legendary creature, and Eurekas, and then the power 9. And that was it. And it's not the most creative. Again, you go on Scryfall, you search legendary, but I wanted to try.
It still kind of is, man. I've looked at thousands of deck lists, and I've never seen anything like that. And granted, that's also because of the rule set with making everything a little less expensive. But I mean, in terms of creativity, I still think that's pretty good. Did anyone else do it?
No. And I mentioned wanting to change someone's mind about something. So the first time I played Mano was in this Neos League. and he stomps me game one, and we're sideboarding. The thing is, my deck is like 120 plus cards. So it takes me like 3 minutes to shuffle, and he says something weird. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this to you. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Oh,
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, game two, he ends up playing Blood Moon, which in my 40 dual land deck with only legendaries, with multicolored creatures, Stone Cold killed me.
The truth is, Nick, is that he did want to do that to you.
Yeah. He was just being nice. He really wanted to.
But like I said, if you can just get someone closer to not doing, to me, that's the whole experience. Of playing a nice spice deck is showing someone something new.
When I first found the format, I was just every deck list I could find, all the Scandinavian websites, all the British guys, everything. I was just sucking in as many of these. So when I saw a list like this where I had to stop and really think about what is this deck? What is it doing? How does it win? And then that really, I never started spiking because I found so many of these things where I'm like, I don't fucking want to play Savannah Lions and Serendip ever. So it's awesome to see this. And honestly, even for people that are really good at the game, they probably still have to look at a list like this and go okay, how is this thing gonna fucking fuck me over, right? What do I have to stop him from casting?
Well, see, that's the advantage that you gain, right? When you play something that's off the beaten path, people don't know how to play against it, and so that's where you get your percentage points. A lot of times, I ran a combo, the Callings of Chaos deck when I was first starting to play it, and it ran Abyss, and I forget who I was playing, but he saw Abyss, he's like, oh, I gotta disenchant that. But that was the wrong thing to disenchant at the time, but you would know that. So this is maybe if they're playing against
Micah's
you.
Combo?
What was that? Yeah.
Well, he just called it Micah's combo.
Just called no, Micah was also involved. So anyway,
they won a team spice award for that one. Joel,
but when they play a deck that's off the beaten path like yours, that I'm sure your opponents are not sure how to interact with it, so that gives you an edge.
Yeah, they strip the workshop right away. When in reality, it's now I have 4 black mana lined up.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think that's the best part about playing these lists, and to what Andy's saying is number one, it's usually the number one is overload disenchants. That way, like Andy's saying, they don't know what to disenchant, and they very often disenchant the wrong fucking thing.
Nobody plays Shatterstorm. Nobody plays Shatterstorm.
No one plays Shatterstorm.
That's what's funny. If you bring a spice deck you're working on to a meetup, and then your friend actually then knows what to go after and you play them in the tournament.
Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of Neos and in Philly, and I ended up getting a new job that required me to move out to the Bay Area once kind of COVID started settling down.
Right.
So that's kind of the end of a lot of my webcam involvement, and then moving out to the Bay. What was pretty serendipitous about it is 2 weeks after I moved is when the Beast started doing regular meetups again. You had Neil and Adam on a previous episode, so I met them at their start of their journey. And to me, one of the most rewarding things by far is when a newer player to old school, right? It could be in franchise in Magic, but you kind of see them get hooked. At first it's oh, I'm not going to buy Juzams or Power. And then 3 meetups later,
you're not.
I bought a Chaos Orb, and that's it. So again, always loved trying to be kind of this, ambassador. So you just want to be a good role model of what the community is about and what it really means.
And then moving from a scene that you basically kind of helped start into one that was very much established, and those guys had been doing it for years already. That must have been kind of cool too, just meeting people that already been like you said, enfranchised and already doing this stuff for years. So maybe some of them had already moved in the kind of space that you were in. So it's really fun to have other people to kind of run ideas past, because some people don't want to talk how do I make Lich work in a deck or whatever. When you meet people that do, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, super cool. And like I said, I kind of learned about old school in 2018. And a lot of those guys, the OGs, were 2014, 15. So it was very interesting to hear that. I asked a ton of questions when I was out there. And they were all very awesome. So weekly meetups start happening, and Joel comes down from the North Bay. And Joel, maybe you want to kick us off. I don't remember our first match, but I do remember I was your first opponent.
Yeah, so briefly, I had just moved back up to Santa Rosa, where I'm from San Luis Obispo. I'd been in San Luis Obispo for 18 years at that point. And yeah, decided for a life change, moved back up here. I had gotten into old school through pre-modern during the lockdown. So my buddy came to visit me in San Luis Obispo, and he told me about pre-modern, and I was like, oh hell yes. I pulled all my old cards out and got into that, and then you start watching pre-modern videos on YouTube, and then old school starts popping up, and I'm like, oh, these are cool old
What's
cards.
this about? Yeah,
exactly. And so so I eventually transitioned into more old school, but so I was just desperate to play Magic with people, and do you still
play any pre-modern, Joel?
I have all my cards, but actually funny thing, probably perfect for this episode is less and less spiky and more like spicy decks. So my buddy who got me into pre-modern, now we just build like shitty tribal decks. Like you can't play elves, you can't play goblins, you can't play zombies or whatever. It's like
Clerics.
Birds versus apes and stuff like that. So it's just
you used to have like
really
10
random
decks on you, right?
Yeah. I still do, actually. I just haven't taken them apart. Just slowly have been cannibalizing cards out of them. But he built like a monkey cage deck and stuff it was just like random stuff like that. But anyway, so I was looking for people to jam with. Basically, I was Magic deprived, and found out about the Beast, I think through Facebook. Oddly enough, like I was buying cards on Facebook, like selling.
Sorry to cut you off, but so like when you found pre-modern, were you also playing like Eternal formats at that time, or like were you like just
I had been playing modern. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and this was before I think MH2 came out.
What was your last modern deck?
I still
I know it's taboo on our podcast, but you could all plug your ears for a second.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. We all came from
What's modern?
Right? Yeah, I know, right? We won't go there, but
what was that?
It was Death and Taxes. Death and Taxes, which arguably a much better legacy deck, but I was part of that.
It was probably still fun.
Yeah. I was part of that that cabal, I guess you could say. And then I had built like Liliana came way down, Liliana the Veil. Just ended up, we won't mention the P word that card type is, but so that's how I got into that was the first Eternal format that I started playing. So there's a local shop in Santa Rosa, not a lot of old school there, it's all Commander, and I found out about the Beasts and made it to a meetup, and it was at O'Sullivan's, I think, in Newark. And I was super stoked. I walked in, I had my budget mono blue deck, just a bunch of some unlimited islands and mostly revised stuff, but it was chill.
You do like phantasmal terrain, Don kind of stuff.
It was a little more control-y. Yeah, it was like I had I think I had books, scepters, drakes, ghost ships, stuff like that. And a mana drain was my pièce de résistance at that point. It's actually really, really good in mono blue. You just use it to cast a book. It's awesome. So anyway, walk in.
Hot take from Joel D. Everyone, mana drain is good.
Especially
into
in
it.
mono blue.
Mono blue, when you can cast it and you're not sitting there going like, oh god, I have no. The beasts are 4 strips, so you're not sitting there looking at no blue sources. So I walk in, and this is probably dates it as well. Jeremy Chien was actually playing Magic. This is
wow,
pre sorcery. So he's
crazy.
actually jamming some matches. I walked in, and Nick was the only one in between games, and I sat down across from him, and we introduced ourselves and started playing. And he was on a
I was on
Reanimator list.
Divotog. No,
No,
I
you were
think
on
I was on
Reanimator.
Divotog. Oh, maybe, yeah.
No,
The first time.
Divotog was Redwood City. How the fuck do I remember this? Yeah,
Yeah, so-
Divotog was Redwood City. Yeah.
And the reason why I remember this so distinctly, so I mentioned like before in Philly, like I was playing Divotog, like that would have been my spike deck, right? I tried the deck once, great, did what I wanted with it. Divotog was what I bring because it's fun to me because you can be the aggro deck or you can make it more control-y after the sideboard games.
Sure.
So like it really has a lot of play against everything. Now it's kind of everywhere, and it's really good. Point is, I call it my Scribble Tog deck because I wanted to get 75 cards either like signed by the original artist or altered or community altered. And I was about halfway. So this was becoming my kind of like prized deck. And maybe I had too much to drink that night. I left behind my deck box.
Oh,
Yes. This was the second time
Ouch.
that we had jammed. So yeah. The first meetup, O'Sullivan's. This was at Redwood City, and yes, you left, and we were clearing out, and Harry's Hofbrow is very like at 10 o'clock. They're like, get the fuck out. It's not like, oh yeah, you have a few minutes. They're just like,
out now.
And so we did like, I always do an idiot check before I leave just to make sure I'm not leaving anything. And I found his deck box. And I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, there's some alpha and beta and lots of nice cards in here. And I was like, whose is this? And I think Joe was like, oh, I think that's Nick's. And I was like, okay, yes, let's make sure this doesn't get left behind. And I think he got it back to you or whatever. And then a couple days later, or like the next day or whatever, on Discord, I get a message, and he's like, dude, thank you so much for finding my deck box.
Were you just losing your fucking mind until you found out someone found it?
Wait, did you even realize you had left it, or?
That's the thing. Yeah, I did not until
Like the next day.
Like, oh my god.
That's like everyone's worst nightmare, right? Every Magic player's worst nightmare is you get home and like, where's my Ancestral? Where's my Lotus? Or whatever, It's like, and it was all the good cards in the all the expensive
not
cards
only like the monetary value of some of the cards, but as I mentioned, like some of these altars or SIGs, like it's not about just the cash, it's time to collect. Right.
Yeah, it's like losing a photo that's worth also a lot of money. Yeah.
And like I don't think any story, like to me, like says a lot about Joel's character, right? And like just the community, right? Because he ends up handing it off to someone that worked at the same company as me at the time. So like I got it in the office back from them. But like
I don't know what this is, but somebody left it for you here.
I mean, I want to be clear about this. I mean, I'm not going to fast forward yet, but Joel just spent 4 days at my house, and I can confirm that he is indeed a dirtbag. So I can't believe he gave you that back.
He was like looking through it, and he saw it was all signed and altered. He's like, oh man, I can't sell this. All right, fine.
But the cool thing that came out of that, one of the cool things, aside from a friendship, was Nick was like, I would be honored if you would design a patch and let me make it. And so we collaborated on this patch.
Oh, nice.
And
for our only audio viewers, it's the Order of the Ebon Hand, right? Oh, you were covering it with your finger. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Order of the Ebon Band. And it's basically it is the Pump Knight, the Black Pump Knight, Order of the Ebon Band hand with
best art.
With the guitar superimposed in his hand, and then the Ancestral guy covering his ears.
Nice.
That kind of looks like a Jerry Jones baritone, but it's probably not.
It does. It's like the scale is totally wrong. But it's perfect. It was a great collaboration and a very popular patch. I actually just reordered, so I got 100 more.
Yeah,
it's super cool.
Yeah,
it took forever to get the spikes right. The company kept messing up, so we kept having to like adjust our design. And we ended up becoming roommates then at the Chalice that year.
Yep,
to Hingmore. So
yes, Order of the Ebon Band was our
that was our room name.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Chalice was awesome with the Beast. The first year I went, I was more of, I guess, like a guest capacity. The second year, I helped out with some of the organization around the charity aspects. And I designed the patch that year for them, where it's the Beast holding the Urza's Chalice. Again, another throwback to my Lich list. That's also like the name of the event. But yeah, great time in California. Made a lot of cool friends out there. But I knew, yeah, there you go. Joel just flashed up the patch from the event that year for those listening.
Yeah, and I was going to interject earlier when you were talking about graphic design. You are,
yeah, please.
You have designed the most highest quality patches than anyone else I'm aware of. I don't know if you guys know this. This guy is like,
it's obviously a real thing with like the trade of patches and all this kind of thing. I think it's very rare that someone's like, where the hell did this thing come from? But Nick, you've really turned out some bangers, and I was super honored for you to pass me off a couple of the ones that I really wanted before I made my battle vest. So I appreciate that. But like, no one really thinks about who's like making these things, and like, just to have the want to do it and like get them out there is super cool. So like, just beyond just playing the game, just adding something else, for everybody that's fun is fucking cool as hell, man.
Just so people know, the same time and energy that goes into making an awesome Lich deck and piloting it great goes into making these awesome patches that add color to the community. So
yeah, and that's what it's all about, is the community, right? Like, it's fun to make
community.
Just give me my patch.
It's nice to give someone something to go home with too. If you are playing a spiky deck, like, here's a wheel patch. But that's kind of my time in California. I knew I didn't want to live out there, I think, the rest of my life. I'd done 2 years. My family's all from the Northeast.
You don't like avocados as much as Joel does.
That's why my skin is so shiny.
If I could do it, I'd spend a month out of the year in California. But my heart just always was kind of with the East Coast.
Can you close the door?
So I ended up moving back in 2024. Was last April. The only things I had on me, though, because all my stuff was like packed for the move, was I bought like an air mattress locally, a backpack, and like a week's worth of clothing.
Oh, wow.
What did I have in my backpack, though, was my prized Dimir deck.
Yeah.
And that's where Goblin Hero 1 was like a week after I had touched down back in Jersey. So I was pretty primed to attend that. So that was an awesome event.
So while you're out at were you still out in California, Nick? Were you like building your like old school collection out? Like I know you had your Dimir deck.
Yeah.
But like, were you,
Great
like,
question.
Yeah.
That's where I bought my set of Bazaars. So I had the workshops kind of as part of the Lich, was like the first step. And then kind of how I convinced myself to move was, I was like, this is a great job opportunity, but I'm going to buy a set of Bazaars while I live in California.
Might as well.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. And then, like, here's the thing with buying my workshops, though. Like, I wanted to use them for good. And I just wanted to do, like, the crazy stuff you can do with workshops. And same with Bazaars. So I played some, like, standard Bazaar decks for sure. But I wanted to experiment with them some more as well.
Casting Nova Pentacle off a workshop feels...
Oh,
so
that's hot. That's hot.
That's so annoying.
I love that card.
That card is it's up there for most annoying
we'll
card.
Get there eventually, but Joel and I jammed some AAA when he was here from Officer Con, and he.
I played him at Chalice, man. He took my cards.
He fucked me with the Nova Penalty. If he didn't land that goddamn Nova Penalty, he's like, I took it out of my other deck and put it in here like unsleeved. I was like, you son of a bitch! It's the only card that's gonna wreck me right now. Anyway, so yes, we definitely appeals to my sense of romance, that idea for sure, Nick.
Yeah, but no, it was a good question. So leaving California, I pretty much had my collection established, like well established, right? Having both workshops and Bazaars. One of my goals starting the format too was I want to play every great deck at least one time.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
Again, that's why I played the deck, workshops, Reanimator, Dibitog. To me, it's a real treat to learn how the different strategies play. I think it makes you a better player if you.
That's the best way to know how to beat them too, right? You know.
Yeah, to know what matters to disenchant, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler for the deck players out there that are looking to learn. It's all about what you counterspell, right? Because you can't. It's basically just fireball or like the burn spells, because you can swords the creatures, disenchant the enchantments and artifacts, but.
And you probably have 2 recalls, so you can get those back. And like that's why I really say like recall wins games, and it does. Like all you need to do is usually get 1 or 2 of those spells back, and like the game's over, whether or not your opponent realizes that or not.
Yeah. But so Goblin Hero 1, when I landed, it's a week after. Again, I have my Dibitog deck, and at this point I had fleshed out. I'm around 90% complete, maybe 100%, with some small upgrades I had in mind. I end up high rolling, and I get second in the event. Again, I'm comfortable with Dibitog, but I won the die roll.
We're looking at Goblin Hero 1 here, right, Nick? Because you play. Okay, so the first iteration is the 2 that you won with. Is that the same pile? I didn't like fully analyze them.
No. 1 is Dibitog, 2 is Triple S. Yeah.
Andy, show notes. Overlay Goblin Hero 1 here.
Thank you.
It's pretty standard. I like Flying Men specifically in my builds, and then maybe I run more counter magic than like other people would run it.
Goblin Hero 1, I forget what the rule set was. Was there anything special, or was it just...
I think it was just Atlantic. I don't think it was Swedish.
All right, so I'll do my thing real quick as I do. So Nick got second place at the first Goblin Hero list. So 4 Togs, 4 Flying Men, 2 Psionic Blast, 3 Chain Lightning, 4 Lightning Bolt, 1 Mind Twist. What are the? Those are dibs next to the Mind Twist.
It's 3 Psy Blast. Yeah, and 3 dibs. Yeah.
Oh, 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. You got all these fucking awesome fucking APs. My bad. So yeah, 3 Psy Blast, 4 Bolts, Mind Twist, 3 dibs, 2 counter spells, 1 Mana Drain, which Joel D says is good. Demonic Tutor, Ancestral, Time Walk, Wheel, Time Twister, 4 Black Vice, all the mana rocks, including Lotus. We got a Soul Ring, Chaos Orb, 4 Volcanic Island, 4 Underground Sea, 3 City of Brass, 1 Badlands, 1 Basic Island, 4 Factories, and a Strip Mine. And the sideboard is Library of Alexandria, Ankh of Mishra, 1 Psychic Purge.
That's Artifact Blast, I think.
No, there's a Psychic Purge.
Before, sorry. Yeah, 1 Psychic Purge, yeah.
Do you really think I confused Artifact Blast with Psychic Purge, Nick? Jesus Christ, man.
Somebody's a little sensitive.
I was going to snake this one. So anyway, 1 Psychic Purge. That's interesting. I'll ask you about that. 1 Old Man in the Sea. Love to see that. 1 Artifact Blast. 2 Reb. 2 Energy Flux. 1 Falling Star. 1 Earthquake. 1 Fireball. And 2 Shatter. And what's the guy? Is that another Shatter?
Disintegrate.
It's Disintegrate. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now that I zoomed in, that makes sense. What's up with the fucking 1? What's up with the 1 Psychic Purge?
You just got to show it to them one time. That's all you need.
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
Living in Philadelphia, I think I went 0-7 against Mono Black as Dibitog. Nightmare matchup because him 2-for-1s you, and you're kind of a critical mass burn deck. Order is really annoying because late game it scales and it beats you in the race. Yeah. The rack, again, you want cards in hand, but then the him or Mind Twist you off the top, and now rack's killing you. So the only answer I really came to was Psychic Purge. Normally I'd play 3, but as mentioned, this is my prize Scribbletog deck.
Okay, so you didn't have
the reason why it was hard for Jared to see what it was in the photos is it's actually a foil card. For Chalice that year, they had 1 of foil cards.
Right. Get. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
And I traded or swapped.
Put him in his cube. So yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So that's why it's a 1 of. It should be a 3 of, and it's actually I think part of. Sorry, go.
This is how we know you're a Spicer, Nick, because you didn't play as many cards as you wanted to because you didn't have the exact cards that you wanted to have in your deck.
It didn't meet the aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing in the finals to Lion Dib, and I think my opponent played really well. Part of it, though, was just the interaction was cheaper and faster than me. Sorry.
0-2, 1-2?
I think it was 1-2.
Okay.
But kind of what I noticed was they were casting more spells per turn than me, and I was a bit clunky. I think I died with 2 Psyblasts in hand and a Serendib, and there was no good paths to victory there. Segueing to Goblin Hero 2. It's Swedish, so it's a different format, but I posted to the Philadelphia Discord channel, hey, what's the best deck against Lion Dib? That's all I wanted to be was Lion Dib. And
you did the right thing, obviously.
The finals were still fresh in your memory from the Goblin Hero 1. You're like, I'm not losing to this deck again.
Yeah. And so shouts out to Nick Mostovich. He DM'd me a list. He's like, hey, man, I've been tuning this Triple S list for months now. Here you go. And I think I played 73 of the 75 and ended up taking down the event.
Got it.
I played Lion Dib 3 times.
Oh, wow.
I think I crushed it 2-0 back-to-back. And then the finals, which was recorded on Timmy's YouTube channel.
Sick.
You can check it out there.
Andy, post the link in the show notes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
now is this the list? I don't have it in front of me. Is this the list that has?
It's in the chat, Joel.
It's in the chat now. Okay. I was wondering if this is the one that's similar to Mitcha's that has the Wrath of Gods.
No, I don't see any Wrath of Gods.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do my thing for the viewers or listeners only.
Please.
So, full set of Mox, Lotus, Ancestral, Fireball, Mind Twist, Soul Ring, 3 copy Artifact, 1 Soul Ring, Brain Geyser, Balance, 4 Swords, 3 Counterspell, DT, 3 Disenchant, 2 Fell War Stones, 1 Mana Drain, 1 Abyss, 4 Suchi, 1 Divine Offering, 1 Time Walk, 3 Sage of Latnam, 1.
That's a
Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a Sarah? Okay. I keep not zooming on these. 4 City of Brass, 1 Basic Island, 4 Factories, 2 Volcanic Island, 2 Underground Sea, 4 Tundra, 1 Strip Mine, 1 Library Alexandria, and the sideboard is 1 Volcanic Island, 2 Reb, 3 Beb, 2 Cop Red, 1 Divine Offering, 1 Disenchant, 2 Book, 1 Abyss, 1 Wrath of God, and 1 Sarah. So this is basically a triple S / the deck mashup.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I hadn't really played Swedish much before, and I didn't know that this was maybe I'm bad mouthing. I didn't know this was the like really good strat, like a tier 1 strategy.
Yeah, seems so.
Yeah,
like I said, all I wanted to do was beat Lion Dib.
Yeah, this kind of cropped up like 2.5 years ago now, and people have been like, there's an aggro version, there's this version which is more control-y, but yeah, I mean the deck does everything you want it to do. I am again surprised, and like maybe I just beat this with a dead horse, but like no recalls, which like I guess it's okay, but like it just the card just fucking wins games. But this list, like you said, it was Nick that gave you this list, Nick.
Yeah, Nick M from Philly.
Yeah.
Monster
Man. He's definitely an aficionado of these kind of lists, but like I don't know. I guess it's tough to squeeze one in, but I just think it's such a good card. But it is a very tight list, so if you've been tuning it, then God bless him. But it's got enough answers and threats in here to obviously get the job done. So how did it do for you on the day? Did you just like completely? I know you said you smashed Lion Dib 3 times. You like just
he won
through the Swiss then. Oh, I know he won, but like
was a lot of 2-0s or was 2-1s? Were they tight matches or blowouts?
Yeah, there was a good amount of 2-0s. I wrote a little article around it too. If we want to link that. Round 1, I played.
You guys are giving me so much work. Jeez. All right, it's going to be in the show
You're the
notes.
one that wants to do this fucking podcast. You're going to put the time in.
I feel bad. I sent a lot of deck photos in on our Discord.
Don't feel bad. Listen, this is
ridiculous. All right.
Yeah, we had a long break. He's looking forward to sitting in front of his computer for the next 12 to 30
This is what I live for. Thanks a lot.
Round one was like red, blue, aggro, moon. I got lucky one game in that they didn't draw spells, and then game two they didn't draw lands. So okay,
So they didn't know how to mulligan. Got it.
Games 2 and 3, I believe I played. That's when I played Lion Dib back to back, and they were on the same 75. I think one of my opponents, I think maybe it was Colby, told me, that they were on like the same.
Not
list.
Colby. Oh, oh God.
We love him.
We love Colby.
Maybe that was round 3 and 4. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the.
So I'll have to ask you, Nick, since you played them rounds 2 and 3, like when you're sitting there like with a deck that you specifically brought to beat these decks, like were there any moments of like trepidation where you're like, shit, if I lose to this, I'm a real asshole?
Yeah, well, so in my so not only did Master Man be very generous with giving me a list, I only met him one time in Philadelphia, by the way. Because I had moved out and I had only gone back one time, so I saw him at a meetup. He also volunteered to like help me playtest against Lion Dib, and I think I beat him like 5-0 that night.
I only know the guy's name and like from going to events. I don't think I've ever actually formally introduced myself, but the guy's a real patron saint. Like he's always donating like tons of stuff to the raffles and everything. He did that at Stormcrow, so a big shout out to Nick Mostovich. He's an OG of old school for sure.
Yeah. So 2 Lion Dib next. I then face against like robots, which is like the bigger build with trikes and animate deads instead of going more in on like the Sarahs. I don't know if that's a good match or not. I ended up
was that fucking
it.
Mikey? Did you play fucking Mikey?
Yeah, that was Mikey. Yeah.
That's a good dude. He just top 8'd Summer Derby with that list. Actually, he just lost today. Actually,
it's a good run.
It's a good list. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes my win all the more special. Then,
Nice.
Again, like I kind of think it comes down to tempoing. Actually, then I recall switching and I think copying it, and that was like the wave I rode. Round 5 was against Don of the Don Goblin Raiders, another guy I'm super familiar with from the PA Magic scene. He goes to a lot of the Old Order events.
Don's gobbling these nuts.
But what was funny is at the start of the event, like I showed him my list, and he's like, "I'm on almost the exact same." So we knew we were playing the mirror.
Oh, really? Okay.
Don played that list. Really? Get the hell out of here.
He was spiking.
He spikes sometimes.
But he does the classic Don, like, "Hey, if you really care about winning, I'll concede to you." And I'm like, "No." Like,
if you're going to put it that way, no, I don't care about winning.
Joel, did you meet Don at MobsterCon?
Oh, you mean Don, who introduced the card that was not in Scrying's pool? Yeah.
Wait, which one? I didn't hear the story. What?
He was playing Gorilla Shaman. It was fucking
he thought it was. I feel like other people do this. He thought it was Primitive Justice, right?
Oh, because of the art.
Very similar art, but
yeah.
He's like, it's not in there. And we're like, oh, whatever. Flint still, or was it? I think Flint was playing him. Yeah, Flint still took
it. It was against Flint. Yeah. That was
Flint was probably like, man, I'm getting crushed by this card.
Similarly, and this is off topic, but we'll talk about Nick's list again. But also at Stormcrow, like Matt Marmorato of the Sisters had laid his deck out like to take a deck photo, and I looked over at the table, and this is like fucking 10 minutes before the event starts. I'm like, dude, Ication Javelineers is not in Scrying's, dude. He's like, who the fuck's got white 1-drops?
Give me something.
Exactly.
People don't look at the Scrying's card, or they assume every card from like that set or Fallen Empires is in it.
A lot of the good Fallen Empires cards are already in there, so like it's like an assumption without like double checking.
There's always somebody that says like, "What do you mean it's not in Scrying?" So it's yeah.
Dude, I get paranoid about that type of stuff too.
Yeah.
You never know. I made a mistake at Silex Slam 2 at an Alia pile in the mono green sideboard. Fortunately, didn't matter at all. But yeah. All right. So Goblin Hero 2.
Swedish.
final match was against Lion Bolt. Went to close game 3s, but pulled it out. And again, like, I don't like I kind of set goals for events, right? And I think Swedish being so popular this year, like I do want to play a more refined strategy because I just don't want to get my face smashed in, you know.
Sure.
I'm fine doing it for like spice related things, but
Listen, but this is the year. This is the year to go for spice because
we'll probably talk about this over the next several podcasts.
Everybody's going to be spiking for LobsterCon. There's nobody's going to be spicing, so you can really clean up.
Andy, you're going to be spicing.
I'm playing the deck.
That is the biggest rap to shit I've ever heard.
It's true.
But
just clean up and just win all the spice
you're right,
awards.
though, like when you know that there's a shark on a line in Boston this year, like. I mean, there are going to be people that bring their pet decks and just get fucking absolutely rinsed. But like everyone's going to be out for blood this year. So like, even if you want to play something like remotely spicy, you want to like keep it in the wheelhouse of like it can still be competitive.
If I were DFB, I would give some serious like crazy awards for spice because like nobody's going to do it.
Yeah. Good spice though, not like I fucking went 06, like, you know, didn't do a point of damage,
right. Yeah.
Kind of thing. But
anyway,
so also just to interject here, so Jonathan Lai organized the Goblin Hero event, I think both years, and and to be relevant to Swedish, he actually held it at an IKEA in Elizabeth, New Jersey. So now some people are now calling Swedish IKEA 60 because number one, they're completely sick of playing it because it is the summer of Swedish. But John did an awesome job organizing the event. Kind of a cool venue at like the banquet hall at an IKEA, which
don't sleep on the IKEA food. It's not bad.
Yeah. But John did a great job with the event. Made a ton of money for the charity, and it was also him, Nick, who reached out to me and said, "Hey, I don't know how you pick your podcast." I'm like, well, Andy and I don't really.
We don't. Whoever says yes.
We don't have a fucking board meeting about this, but he's like, you should have Nick on. And that was like, I don't know. It was like, you know, not long after Goblin Hero 2. So it's, but it's down to John, great event. And you're partially here because of him. So big shout outs. I know he does listen. He thinks the pod's funny because I'm a derelict.
Huge shout outs to John, and you know, TOs are the unsung hero of old school. Like without people organizing events, right, you wouldn't get these crazy stories. You wouldn't have the community that you have. And you know, shouts out to you and Andy, Jared, because like next up is creating content for the community.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. We just like talking about old school.
I did. Even though wasn't able to attend the event, John was having some. He was trying to get his mono green Swedish deck, like all signed and everything, and he was short one, like near mint beta script sprite. So I just sent it to him on the arm. It's like, you know, like thank you for doing that, man. Like, well, you know, so super cool guy, and yeah, like organizing these events, having them run smoothly. Like, can't say enough about it. Like, otherwise we wouldn't be here talking about this shit, right?
Yeah, for sure. And maybe this is back to my journey. Like I moved to Jersey, but I didn't go to that many events. It was Goblin Hero 1 and Summer Blast I went to. But
I don't even know
the meetups are a bit sporadic.
I don't know that one.
Right?
Do you mean Silex Slam, the Nick's event?
Nah, this was Phil's event. It was in the city.
Oh, yeah.
Phil
Deturi.
Yeah. Shout out, Phil. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. We miss you. Stop hanging out with your kids so much.
But that was cool, you know. And so I think at Goblin Hero, you know, is when I really got to like talk to a lot of sisters, and got to, you know, meet people as well. So
awesome.
Yeah. We skipped over. Sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna chronologically. I skipped over Stormcrow by accident, but that came before Goblin Hero 2.
We talked about it.
We eulogized the hell out of it. I know, but we didn't talk about it with Nick specifically. So like, you know, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but like, if you not listened to the Stormcrow episode, Nick won the Spice Prize for his Scrying's list, which again I had the pleasure of playing against, and is super sweet. So I don't think I need to run through. Should I run through the deck list again real quick? It only takes 1 minute.
You're going to anyway, so I don't know. Why you even ask? But
I look at this and it gives me a big fat chub, so I'm gonna read the cards off again. So this was.
I'm gonna pull a Jared and use the can.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Do what?
He just go.
Yeah, I need to use.
Just go. Everybody's. Let's all use the bathroom, and then you run through the list.
Yeah. Sure. I'll make myself another White Rush when you guys are done. So next list: 3 Diamond Valley, 3 Lich, 4 Zurin Orb, 4 Dark Ritual, 4 Fast Bond, 3 Illusionary Mask, 3 Phyrexian Dreadnought, 4 Undiscovered Paradise, 2 Infernal Contract, 1 Regrowth, 1 Sylvan Library, Wheel of Fortune, Time Twister, all of the Mana Rocks plus Lotus, Time Walk, Demonic Tutor, 4 Underground Sea, 4 Bayou, 4 Scrubland, 1 Badlands, 3 City of Brass, Soul Ring, and Ancestral. And the sideboard, he had Chaos Orb in the sideboard, which I'm sure I've already said. But then he had the 4th copies of Illusionary Mask and Dreadnought, 2 City of Solitude, 2 Gloom, 1 Mirror Universe, 3 Underworld Dreams, and 4 Disenchants.
Another great job on the deck picture.
This one here.
And I'll overlay that again with the Lich. Yeah.
If you're someone that's just listening to this and not like YouTube looking at this, like find Nick's deck list, because like what he did with like the Lich, like hanging out over the deck list, like holding this giant like diamond with like diamonds in his eyes.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty cool.
Fucking cool as hell. Like, yeah, this is
and I think we we touched base on this as we talk about this list on the other episode, and we like the idea, at least I like the idea of like the two-pronged attack. You did have that Dreadnought plan as another option to the Lich, which was really
right,
cool.
but then also having it be an engine for Lich,
right? Exactly.
Diamond Valley,
so,
like it's like
that you can fast bond it.
Yeah.
So, really cool.
Yeah, the only tie-in I'll say, is I mentioned earlier in the episode, there's like 32 cards that gain you life, and for a long time I was like, Diamond Valley Lich, something can be there.
It's got to be something.
Yeah. Putting a Dreadnought into the desert gated 12 is pretty badass, because you could do that with like the Dreadnought ETB on the stack, right? You could then sack it to Dreadnought and then just get the 12. So that's awesome, man. It's very clever.
Yeah.
There's a pre-modern variant of that it's the same thing, where it's like you sack a creature and draw cards. So it's like, you get to recreate that. That's awesome.
Is that Skeletal Scryings that does that, or
no?
I don't know pre-modern that well.
I don't know, but it was yeah.
It's there.
Not to relive the round, but like it was awesome playing against Nick, because I think you went off. I think it was turn 2 against me. Like you went off and completed it, and then game 2 you stalled and you had cast Lich though, and I killed you with a 6-point Earthquake when you only had 5 permanents on the board.
Yeah, it's like I was like, 1, 2, I'm dead.
Yeah, and then
the Lich life.
And then game 3, I think you wheeled and stalled, and I wheeled into Mask like double knot, but then you cast a City of Solitude on your turn, and then you fucking finished it. So it was an awesome match.
There are not many things to give people more joy than to start hitting the Lich player for damage during your turn and see him then squirm as they sacrifice permanents.
Dude, honestly, it felt amazing, because I was like, Earthquake for 6. He's like, here you go.
yeah, that's game. Cool.
Everyone's afraid of Disenchant with Lich. The real problem is Chaos Orb, because you can't avoid Fate to protect, so you're always dead. But City of Solitude is a nuts card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll get into that later with your MobsterCon teams, because I don't know how much you and Joel sat and watched those matches with Flint, but City of Solitude was a house in that list, that's for sure.
Do we keep talking about? Should we get into that, or did you want? I mean, the only other thing would be there's the recent zombie event, France's zombie event.
Yeah, I
guess we can.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go crazy with this because we don't have the entire queue, but I feel like we should touch on it only because, like, Nick being a certified banger. So, like, Friday night, and we did talk with France, about doing this.
We may do another episode,
we'll 100% do another
going into the weeds of like each event, but there's been a lot going on over the last few months, and
but just because you're here, so like at France's Zombie Master Open, which we had kind of talked about a while ago, we did do a cube draft that was curated by Andy Blofarb, and France had printed these up for like several pods, and we did a cube event, and Nick won the event and drafted a completely sick deck. I can't rifle this off because I'm not great with pre-modern and I don't know the names of some of these, so I'm probably not going to bother with that. But Nick, if you want to kind of describe your list, I'm sure Andy will put it up, but like you drafted into an absolute monster in terms of like archetypes and what you wanted to do, because the interesting thing about France / Andy's cube is like it's designed for 12 people. So like you're not necessarily always going to find the pieces you need if you start drafting an archetype, right? But it seems like you got a lot of the bangers that you needed to turn this into like a really cohesive deck.
Yeah, I guess I'll shortcut a bit. Andy is one of the OG members of Philadelphia Old School, but despite being close to him, I had no idea what was in his cube. Like I didn't know any of the strats. So I went into it pretty open-ended. Like I like polarizing strategies. I'm either going to win hard or lose hard. Again, I think that kind of goes to the spice nature.
I'll tell you, Nick, that's even more impressive because when France posted the signups for Zombie Master Open, he posted the Cube Cobra link. So you could have been staring at this thing all fucking day if you wanted to. So like you went into this like completely blind and still drafted it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think who does that? Who like does their homework for this type of thing? Nobody goes to do that.
I was riding a bit high off the Goblin Hero win, so the rest of the year was just gravy.
This game's easy.
I picked Necromancy first, and I was like, okay, and then I just pack one.
I literally don't. Could you explain? I don't know what the card does.
Sorry, yeah. So Necromancy is an enchantment that basically animates back a creature, and I believe you just can cast it. Yeah, one time, but you can put it in with haste, or like you can cast it as
it dies at the end of the turn.
Instant speed.
Okay,
yeah, exactly. Got it. So like by paying extra.
Yep.
Point is, it's like an animate dead. And so the rest of pack one, I basically just picked like good mana fixing. I was aware like that's a good strategy in cube, especially ones you don't know. Is you pick up the mana fixing. And then I picked up the reanimation effects. Where it got tricky was in pack 2, I got like kind of a third of the way through, and I was like, I don't know what I can bring back in this cube. Like, what are the good payoffs, Right. So that is where luck came in, and I ended up getting like the Phantom Nashoba or the Symbiotic Worm.
The cutest champion, maybe. Yeah, Phantom Nashoba, I see there.
Yeah.
Got, what the hell's the big banger, the white creature there?
I don't even know her name. Yeah, but yeah, that was really good. So feeling pretty good after pack 2. I have fast mana. I think I had the Bazaar in pack 2. The reanimation effects. Now all I needed was the discard, and got hooked up in pack 3. I think I got the Psychotog like second to last in the pack for pack 3, and that really added a big dimension to the deck, because if they shut down your big creatures, you can out of nowhere just kill them by churning through. So the way I describe it is the deck was just very consistent. I think I faced blue-white control as like my first for those that don't know, you play like a 3-round pod with your draft, and then you play the winners of the other pods.
Yeah, and to be just to clarify a little bit, I'm sure we'll cover this again later, but it's basically an old school plus pre-modern cube, but / like Mike added in like the new like enemy fetch lands and like new triumphs. So there are like modern cards in here, but they're all for mana fixing. So like you can do a lot because the mana's it's not essentially good, but like what he added into the pre-modern old school card pool makes it a lot easier to do these kind of things.
Yeah, I think to summarize my run I basically faced my hardest matchup round 1, blue-white control, and managed to kind of like cheese it out. The angel in the photo, what it does is on upkeep, you bring back a creature. So I somehow like got it out pretty fast. And then I knew they were holding up counter magic the whole rest of the match. But I didn't need to cast any more reanimation spells. Right. I just needed to bin creatures. And kind of went that way. I faced like 4 different creature decks, either like red-green or white-green. And that was my best matchup by far. Not only main deck, but my only sideboard cards were like basically creature kill spells. So
you did better in that regard, because like my first match, and I drafted, it was essentially white weenie with like the shadow creatures, but I added in green for like I had Berserk and like some other fucking spells to end the match quickly. And I actually played Peter Niemeyer round 1, and he had a reanimator deck, and like he just stalled out so bad. I had a turn 4 kill against him with just like one of the Sultari priests, White Knight, and something else, and I cast like Army of Allah on turn.
There were a lot of people,
and like I had a Berserk in hand that I didn't even need to cast.
there were a lot of people on, I don't know, Reanimator, or I had some big creatures that I was hoping to do with Eureka, but I feel like it was if the cube was very combo-y or big payoff creatures.
Yeah,
that was my sense.
When you see that many fatties that you can't do anything
like,
with.
There's no way I'm casting this.
Yeah.
The honest
way.
Does
the cube have Greater Good? That's the card I was trying to think of, the pre-modern card where you sacrifice a creature and draw.
What color is it, Joel?
Green 2, enchantment from Saga, Urza Saga. Sacrifice a creature, you draw cards equal to its power, and then discard 3, so...
I don't know. We could check. I don't remember seeing that. Just to go back to the
good combo card, but yeah.
To go back to the name of that angel is Rhea Dawnbringer. She's 6 white, 4/6 flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to play. So it's pretty good payoff.
Great reanimator target. Yeah.
And well, so I think that's the thing is there's sneak attack and Eureka. And really, I thought the better payoffs are the Reanimator strat, because a lot of times you want to loop the Crater Hellion back into play to keep wiping the board. And then like Rhea's not great to sneak attack in because you want the upkeep trigger. So, and then Symbiotic Worm the same. Like you want it to die so you can get the tokens it creates. And then
plus with your discard strategy, your opponent might have some nice stuff to take or reanimate, I guess. But I remember one game I lost because somebody cast a bribery on me, and I was like, oh, what does that do? Oh.
Yeah, my blue-white opponent did that against me, and then they cloned the Symbiotic Worm.
Oh my god.
And somehow I beat them. Like it involved Phantom Neshoba trading for 1, and then I got the Symbiotic Worm back from the grave, and it was nuts. It was against
But it was great. I love the cube. Cube is like one of my favorite formats, if not my favorite format. And I love the whole format of like the pods, and then the winners or the top 2 from each pod play like in another pod and stuff. Yeah. Did you guys have to redraft, or did you just keep your deck?
No. So you kept your deck. So it was after the pod play, just the best decks played each other out to the end. But I really like that. It's a good way to meet a lot of people at the event. I think I knew, let's just say, a third of those in attendance, and it was cool meeting some of the newer faces to the community, or based on where it was, people from like Ohio and Virginia came up, and I wouldn't necessarily have like met them before at a Jersey event. Right. So really awesome in that regard.
Was there a constructed portion 2 to this?
Yeah, that was day 2.
Was it a multi? Okay, it was a day 2. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so this was like the Friday night hangs main event, and then day 2 was just straight Swedish. I ran back my Goblin Hero deck, the same exact 75, because I kind of like was too lazy to make a new deck or tune it.
Right.
I went 3-3, so the format changes rapidly, or maybe I was just a bad player, but. I was happy to pull off a win in like a limited format with Reanimator. Definitely my favorite strategy, and a good omen to come from MobsterCon.